Like, how has it affected you in that way?
New York is having a hard time. It's definitely the epicenter. 450,000 people left all the neighborhoods that we do deals in. They all went to the Hamptons. There was actually like a map, I think it was the New York Times, like the Hamptons, the Hudson Valley, LA, Dallas, Miami. Most of them went to Miami, and they're all kind of all over the place. So it's been tricky. How are things in LA?
It's over the last week or two, it's felt like it's slowly, like people are feeling a little more confident to go outside. But similarly, I think for most of us, it's like, and thank God you and I, like, we can sort of sustain over the last month or two. But it's like, you kind of have to resign yourself to, like, okay, like, I'm going to get really close with my kid. Like,
Yeah.
this is family time, because, you kind of got to wait it out.
Yeah. How is Max?
Max is great. He's 17 months. He's learned how to talk and walk and
What's
throw
he
toys.
say? Because I'm on 14 months and I have no words yet out of this kid. So
Really?
yeah, what do you say at 17 months?
Oh, he's got mama, dada. He can speak his favorite snack, Bamba. We're even getting, it's so funny. We're really pushing hard for him to do like please and thank you. And it's kind of coming out, but it always sounds like a plead. So like when we say like,
Please.
Max, can you say please? And he'll go, please, please.
Hilarious. When did he start talking?
I'm not probably like, I don't know, yesterday. What about Xena? Is she like where's she at? I've seen that she's walking. She's cuter than ever.
Yeah, she walks. She's been walking for a while. She screams. She doesn't. I mean, she's kind of like her mom, actually. Her mom, doesn't use words with me either. She just screams. And
Right.
so, like, I think that's where she gets it. Instead of saying please, she's just like, bah! I'm like, oh, you sound like your mom. And I'm like, okay, just yell at me. That's how it works.
Man, and what about you guys? And I think this has helped my son talk, but I'm slightly ashamed to say that he watches a fair amount of television, and by that I mean Sesame Street.
Does he
And I
watch
think it's
you on
teaching him
television? That's
shit.
what people want to know. Do you put on reruns to say, hey, that's your dad?
No, that would be sociopathic. Like, no. It's so funny. My wife
I
the
do
other day
that.
was like,
I'm like, Xena, look who made you. That's him on TV. And it'll probably mess her up, but like, what
you're
else
like,
am I supposed to do?
don't look at Fredrik, okay? Look, keep your eyes on Papa, okay? The silver fox in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. That's word for word what I say. Are you're quarantined in your apartment? Did you remember last time we did your podcast? You were talking about possibly looking at this condo, and I was kind of talking you out of it. And what'd you end up doing? Anything?
First of all, thank God you did that, because, who knew that this was coming around? And then I had a terrible experience when I was about to buy a home in Venice in December.
Oh, really?
As a first-time homeowner, I got in one of the worst. Here's the long story short. My wife and I were like the model couple. I'm coming in. I'm putting percentages down. I don't want to say how much, Ryan, but it was nice. Nice offer. Okay, we're not playing games. And they take the offer. And then my real estate agent, while we're in escrow, says, the house seems a little smaller than they're saying it is. And we said, okay. And it wasn't huge. It was like 2,200 square feet. They remeasure it at 1,890. So we said, hey, perhaps this should cost less because you've removed a room, you big fat liars. And they said, you know what? We'll cover the escrow fees, which, as you and I know, is a couple
Not the
grand
same.
at
Not the
best.
same.
And so we said, okay, we cancel. And then, being upset that we canceled, decided to hold our escrow and not give it back to us. And we had to get a lawyer. It was a whole thing.
Did you get it back though?
We did, yeah, because they can't actually
Yeah, they
keep it.
can't. Yeah,
Right.
but they can be dicks and they can hold it and drag it all out. Did they end up selling the house to anybody else?
They did. You got to know, I was on Zillow every other day being like, ooh, 81 days on Zillow, 82 days. But I think they eventually did, which it was a blessing, because it would have been scary to have just bought a house right before all this happened.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we obviously, we have a lot of clients who did. Some are happy, some are nervous. We've got clients who bought who then lost their jobs, which is tricky and tough. But, I think the one saving grace to all this is it's not just LA or just New York. It's the whole world, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone in the world. Like it's a global issue. So everyone's understanding. There's no one who's going to be like, what, why you can't pay the bills because of what? I haven't heard of this crazy what,
Right. So what's being a real estate agent at your level, what's the sorcery that's going on right now? Like what's going on that we don't see as normal consumers where you guys are sort of preparing for whatever's next?
A big part of our job is trying to predict the future. So a lot of what we do in the city is we design projects, right? New development projects. And so, I'm in these meetings all the time. I'm in the office, like doing Zooms all day long, kind of going through floor plans and finishes and master plans to try to figure, okay, this tower that you are still planning on building and you will start construction, hopefully at the end of this year, beginning next year, that will be finished in 3 years. In 3.5 years, people are going to want to live like this, right? And you just don't know, like people who knew so many people were going to need to work from home for the rest of life. Like, every major bank in New York City just told their employees, don't plan on coming back to the office until early next year, right? Every school just told all their parents, don't plan on sending your kid back to school physically until there's a vaccine. Like, when's that going to happen? So, there's a lot of weird things going on that we're just trying to adapt for as best as we possibly can. And it's not rocket science, and it's kind of a guessing game. But on the deal side, it's like everyone we know who has money all of a sudden is like, hey, I heard there's some problems in the world. You think we can get a deal? Right? And so they're like, what was $1 million maybe now is 900,000, 800,000. But then the trickiness with that is who even knows? Like, what's something worth today compared to what it could be worth next week and the week after? Who knows?
And what's it like quarantining in the city? Because I have friends in Midtown and they don't have a kid and they're like, it's rough, bro. So what's it like for you and your family?
I'm at the office every day. My life hasn't really changed. I'm up early. I work out. I go to the office Monday through Friday and a little bit on Sundays. I'm just not running around the city all day long. But more time with the baby, that's for sure. I get home. I don't have dinner appointments or anything, right? So it's more baby time. But I think you're far more of a dad than I am. Like, I'm a dad by title. Like, I'm a dad by authority. I feel like you're a dad in practice. Like, you're actually like daddy to a baby.
I'm having a good time. I think there's like a weird me. What did someone say? I didn't know my pops. So in a weird way, I'm like correcting the emotional damage of generations.
Yeah.
So I'm very much like, there's a part of me when I'm spending quality time with my son where I'm like, look how good this is. Like,
yeah. And like, you don't know how good you have it just to have me here. Appreciate me.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll be playing and I'll just jump up and hide in the closet for a minute or two just to give him a taste.
Yeah. Messed up. Is he attached to like you or your wife more so? Like, does he cry when you leave the room or anything?
He favorites me, but now, especially today and over the last few days, we're seeing it shift to my wife. And everyone said, they're like, don't get too hot on yourself, brother, because like it'll switch every couple months. And I'm seeing it now because he's realizing that his mom's the shit. And I'm like, I'm fun, silly guy, but I'm sort of, I like to listen to podcasts when I'm sitting with him.
Yeah. So what have you been up to other than hanging out with the baby and the fam? Like, what have you been doing since this whole thing? I mean, are you still hanging out with friends and like the blog squad? Are you still doing the podcast? Like, what have you been doing?
Yeah, the podcast is up every week, and I recently had your bestie Josh Altman on the pod this week. So
you went to Tom Cruise's house, right?
We did, dude. When I'm in New York, we got to crush something, right? We got to go see some sick penthouse, some Russian oligarch secret cave, right?
Let's do it. How was Tom Cruise's house? Tom
Cruise's old house is sick. It's 3 houses on what is like 2 acres in the Hollywood Hills.
Crazy.
It's not bad. I'm sure he was living good when he was there. But what's cool is, and this is the money move, is that he bought his neighbor's house just to make sure he didn't have anyone annoying living next to him.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
nuts.
What was the asking price on that whole thing?
I don't know. I think they wound up selling it at a loss only because, like, it, it's basically you're buying the land, right? Because whoever buys that is just going to level it. But I think it was like, I don't know, 9 or 10. Not like, I mean, an insane amount of money. But when you're talking about people of that level, it doesn't sound that crazy.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So what's your next business? I mean, you're super entrepreneurial and always thinking about like next steps and next thing. Like you've had all this time now to sit at home and come up with like how you're going to take over the world. What's the next thing for you?
2 words: TikTok. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, should we go there right now? Should we go to your TikTok page?
I don't have one, but I'm really
What?
Isn't
that like blasphemy for what you do?
Do you have one?
I do. I put like 4 or 5 things up on there. It's mostly my team saying, Ryan, you're going to TikTok this today. And I'm like, you TikTok this.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it doesn't work. I don't know. I'm just not, maybe you have to be younger. I don't know. I don't really like dance in front of the camera. It seems just like a lot of dancing.
I feel like I'm in my 30s and I'm too old for it. And I'm not that coordinated, but I'm slowly easing into perhaps doing it. I have some really smart friends, like people in the vlog squad who've been like, you're missing out on a great opportunity to connect with more people. So
yeah.
But
what's after TikTok though? That's what TikTok now is done. Like what's the next thing? We got to go on the App Store and find the next thing and you got to blow it up.
That's good. Now what is it? Maybe it's just Yelp. We all just write a lot of Yelp reviews.
Or maybe it's something else where you don't dance. You just sit and you sit horizontally. So you got to turn the camera like this. Ooh. And everyone's going to be so into that because they've been quarantined on their couch. And be like, oh my God, dude, did you see Josh sitting?
I like that. Well,
why not?
What about for you? Because you're so like, I would imagine just being prolific in your space and then having the show is enough work. And yet, you've got the YouTube channel. You too are always seeing like, where can I be relevant? Like how I'm having an issue lately with delegating and being able to not be overly stressed because I've got my hand in too many pots. Or is it that way for you? How do you approach that?
You Zoom meetings, staff meetings, talking to people. It's it's tough, especially now because of where business is and things. But I really work on leveraging my time and making sure that I only spend my time doing things that I can do. Anything else, somebody else should do. Like literally, like right now, only you and I could be doing this right now, talking, right? Yeah. Everything else I could be doing, whether it's emails, setting things up, brainstorming other ideas, editing video, do whatever, I have other people do. That way, my time will pay derivatives, even if it's going to cost me more day in and day out. And so I have a lot big, I got a big media team. I've got writers that help, I have a huge sales team, obviously, who help me with everything on the real estate side. So I'm just kind of like overseeing, coming in, executing, overseeing, doing that thing. And it works so far.
How do you keep the morale up with, like, let's say people on your team who are newly starting out and don't have that sort of safety net that you've built, or some maybe senior people on your team have built, who are like, oh my God, like I had all the best intentions and the world shifted?
Yeah. What I tell people right now, especially younger people who are getting into, any business, is like, dude, now is the absolute best time. It sucks for everyone, right? The best, like the day you start as a salesperson or in the workforce doing anything is going to be really hard. Like your first year or two are going to be really hard no matter what. So it's going to be tough for you no matter what. Might as well start when it's tough for everybody. Like I started when Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy, and it was a really, really tough time. But I do kind of appreciate the fact that, like, I was losing deals because I didn't know what I was doing. But that guy, and she was losing deals too. And they've all been in it for 15 years. So it made me feel better that I wasn't the only one. And then you just had extra time to build, grow, like figure things out. And then once the market starts to turn, then you just ride that wave with it. You're just surfing business at the end of the day.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Surfing business. I like that. Your next book.
Surfing business. Yeah, no, book 3. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, cool, man. Thanks for connecting, dude. I wanted to just touch base and see how the haircuts come in. You look good.
Anytime. How's your hair looking? I see you got it covered up.
Oh God, dude. Like I have like this gray mane. Like,
Wow.
dude, I've never had my hair this long before. It is like a Brillo pad. Like
What
this
about,
is.
will you shave the head?
No, I can't for continuity. I can't for $1 Million Listing. I can't shave my head. But
Dang.
my hair doesn't grow long. Like, does your hair grow long and straight? Like, it'll grow out?
No.
Like,
It grows long and Jewish. It
dude, my
like,
hair, I'm not Jewish, but my hair is like, it's so thick and so curly. Like if I go this on the side, it stays. Like, it's like,
yeah.
I'm like Doc from Back to the Future.
You have good hair. You have like our forefathers' hair. You know,
I do. Like, I have that wig. I'm the guy that didn't need the wig. You know, when George
right.
Washington was putting his wig on, I'm like, I got mine. It's here. It doesn't move.
I'm good. Let's start this Congress.
It's weird. Exactly. It is so thick. Well, good to see you, dude. I'm going to go try to sell something. Good to touch
Enjoy.
base with you. And next time you come to New York, whenever airplanes work again, we'll
Yes.
get you into a penthouse if they allow me to.
I would love it. Sounds good, dude. Thank you.
All right, man. I'll see you later. Have a good day.
Later, bud. Bye.